Welcome back. Uh, as we inch closer to getting underway, some of the best available players were just up on the screen just a moment ago. One of them is Cooper DeJean, and he's really going to be an essential member of one of our NFL teams, I think. And I am excited to see where he's going to land. Hopefully tonight or tomorrow. Now we're going to talk about the Browns. They've got two picks tonight. Pick number 54 in the second round, and pick number 85 in round 3. Now, this is not a pivotal draft for the Browns, but it's a supplemental draft for them, as we could say. And I don't think they're going to take a wide receiver or a running back. They're going to go an offensive lineman, linebacker, or an offensive tackle, or possibly a edge rusher or a defensive tackle. And so we'll see what they do. And but Andrew Berry has said that they are looking to find players that they can add to this team, to the roster, but they are not going to draft a quarterback by far. The Browns are not, because they're not in need of that. And I gotta tell you, I feel that, or maybe the Browns will trade up. We don't know yet, but we will find out if they will trade up or trade back, because they really do think when it comes to this process, you want to select the best player out there, the best prospects for your team. And we are about 18 minutes away from the draft getting underway. And but I am hoping that they will take an offensive lineman. And the one I'm hoping for is Blake Fisher from Notre Dame, because that could be a huge upgrade for the Browns' offensive line. But I'm not so sure that is going to happen. So we will have to wait and see on that. So, and I really I think there's going to be some players that are really gonna. That some teams are going to be looking for, and there's some that are going to be predicted that are predicted to be taken by certain NFL franchises in these second and third rounds. And I gotta tell you, this is going to be one of those rounds, I think, where either a trade up or trade back could happen. But I think the Browns, they're going to be, they don't have many picks, but they're going to be taking players that they want to put on the roster and they feel that they need to put on the roster and on this team. And I really do think that they need to take an offensive lineman. That's my thinking of this and how I feel, and really I feel this is gonna be one of those nights where anything, because we really had some surprise moves last night. And as I mentioned, 6 quarterbacks went off the board last night, and Mary Kay Cabot of NFL Network says was honored at the Detroit Tigers game earlier today. Said today in an interview with Dustin Fox on 90. On that stage with them? No, I won't be here with them. Actually, was 92.2 The Fan this afternoon. And she says she really feels that this is a supplemental draft for the Browns, but they are not going to draft a quarterback, but she feels maybe an offensive lineman that they're going to take, or an offensive tackle. And they do feel that she does feel that the Browns are really Andrew Berry and the Browns are really gonna really see what's out there. And if do you think that they'll when they get to pick 44, will they trade up, pick 54, or will they trade back like they did with pick 44 when they gets to their pick? Will they trade that 54th pick, or will they trade back, or will they trade up? That's gonna have to that will be determined. We'll have to wait and see on that tonight. So I really feel that a lot of things that uh, are really gonna. This is gonna be one of those nights where anything can happen, and there's still a lot of available players on this on the board for tonight, and and the Buffalo Bills will have the 33rd pick when round two of the draft begins at 7 o'clock. Now, the first round of the NFL draft was just like the beginning of as 68 more prospects will hear their names called tonight. Now, the second and third rounds begin at 7, uh, and uh, and and they will be live on NFL Network, and and I'm going to give you some last pick. The Carolina Panthers took, as you know, as I mentioned in the back of my last segment. This is segment number 2. They took uh, Xavier Leggett, number 32, wide receiver of South Carolina. Now the Bills will be on the clock at 7 o'clock with the first pick, which is pick 33. And then after that, the Arizona, New England, and Arizona, then Washington, and so on and so on after that. And and uh, and um, and the Buffalo Bills really did something Thursday night that General Manager Brandon Beane has never done before. He traded down from his original selection in the first round, and not only did he do it once, he did it again. Bills moved down from the 28th and to number 32. Then they moved out of the first round completely, moving down one spot to number 33. That I thought was a was really surprising last night to the top spot in the second round. So now, with their pick of the litter, is as day two opens up on Friday night, and just a matter of 12 minutes from right now, who is available and who fits with the Bills, what the Bills could be looking for us. Well, here's the heading into the big board here, and here's and they say here's a look at it. And there's some of the best players are, and as I said, Cooper DeJean, Adonia Mitchell, and and we're coming down. We're close to getting started, and the Buffalo Bills did something Thursday night, as I mentioned before, and so now I'm gonna. Okay, so Ian Rappaport, what is the scoop with the 49ers wide receiver room and how it might affect things tonight? Yeah, that's what for the Bills up there who they're looking for could be Cooper DeJean and or Donnie Mitchell and all these guys. We'll start with Brandon Ayuk, the young star receiver, still seeking a contract extension, has certainly been the subject of trade calls, and several teams have called the 49ers. And if they were going to trade him, would have needed a one. All the ones are gone, so obviously makes it less likely the 49ers trade him. And actually, from what I understand, but I really getting a contract extension done whether you rather think that that's who could the Bills could be looking for. Question of what happened to him is he's someone who could be traded. So teams have also about Deebo Samuel. It just hasn't really sent momentum toward a potential trade there. And if the draft is only in a couple of minutes, And I gotta tell you, yeah, Cooper DeJean and Earl Tony Mitchell could be the ones that they are looking for. So, uh, and for their efforts, the Bills improved the late fourth round pick at number one to 133 in the late third round, and 95 late sixth round pick, and 200 in early in the fifth, and 248 in the top of the seventh round. So and I really feel that a lot of players are going to be that there's going to be some players that certain teams are looking for in this round in these two rounds of the draft tonight. But the Bills could be looking and uh, and the LA Rams, they really picked a good player at number 19 last night, and they had a busy first round. And and so, leave me your comments. Tell me what you think, and I really feel that but I really feel that this is going to be one of those nights where anything can happen, and I feel taking Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears taking him. That was a good move for them with the number one pick overall, and and uh, as you know, the Atlanta Falcons who took Michael Pickens Jr. in the most surprising pick of the night. The Falcons also, as you know, signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million contract earlier this offseason, as you know. And quarterbacks also tied a record with 6 of them going up off the board in the first round, matching the legendary 1983 class. All the quarterbacks went in the top 12, accumulating with Bo Nix to Denver with the 12th pick, as you may have heard. You may recall, excuse me. And now round two is about to begin in about 7 minutes. And and as we inch closer, and so as we inch closer, and I think Detroit will won the NFC last year. Who will rule the NFC North next year? What? That's a question. Detroit won the NFC North last year and is in the midst of a franchise renaissance. This comes as the other 3 teams in the division have now loaded up on potential superstars under center, even with the Lions ruling roost for the moment, because the Bears, Packers, and Vikings be hot on their heels. So we'll have to wait and see on that. So, but I think anything can happen. We're about to get underway in just a few moments. In about 5 minutes. And so we or so be back with the third segment. We've got a lot more to cover. We're almost one. So stay with us. We're coming right back. A lot more to come.